Emily Dickinson was an American poet known for her unique and innovative poetry style. She is considered one of the greatest American poets of all time. She is often referred to as the Rickles of Amherst, the town of Massachusetts where she lived and died during her 55 years. Have You Got a Brook in Your Little Heart was included in the 1924 edition of Dickinson's Complete Poems. The poem is a typical of Dickinson's poetic work in its use of symbolism and evocative use of language to express abstract ideas and ideals. Now, let us try to understand this poem line by line. Have you got a brook in your little heart, where bashful flowers bloom, and blushing birds go down to drink, and shadows tremble so? In this first stanza, the poet talks about the little brook of love and kindness that need to be nurtured in our hearts. In this serene space, beautiful thoughts and emotions flourish like bashful flowers, and gentle flings stir like shadows trembling softly. The poet asks if your heart is a nurturing, peaceful sanctuary where kindness, compassion, and love reside, and where your emotions can drink from the waters of inner peace. It encourages to cultivate self awareness, tenderness, and calmness within, allowing you true beauty to bloom. By embracing this inner tranquility, you can harmonize your thoughts, emotions, and actions, becoming a refuge of peace and love for yourself and others. Now, let us move towards the next stanza. And nobody knows, so still it flows, that any brook is there, and yet your little draught of life is a daily drunken there. In this stanza, the poet talks about the little brook of love and kindness that need to be nurtured in our hearts. Even though it is unseen, it is always there. Even though little brook is unseen, it is always there, steadily supporting us. Every day you draw a small amount energy and joy from this source, and it helps you keep going. After having seen the second stanza, now let us try to understand the third stanza. Why look out for the little brook in March, when the rivers overflow, and the snows come hurrying from the hills, and the bridges often go. In this stanza, poet says that you should pay attention to the little brook when the snows melt and the rivers overflow in March. While rivers are overflowing, snows are melting from the hills, and bridges are often washed away. The little brook remains peaceful, flowing gently amidst the chaos. It is a calm oasis. It encourages you to appreciate this quiet beauty, finding serenity in overlooked places. Now, let us try to understand the last stanza. And later in August, it may be when the meadows parching lie, beware lest this little brook of life some burning noon go dry. In this stanza, poet warns us to be careful and not take the little brook of life for granted, especially during difficult times. In August, when the meadows are dry and parched, the little brook might seem like it is going to disappear. The poet says that even though the brook has been flowing quietly and peacefully. It can still dry up if we are not careful. The burning noon refers to the hottest part of the day. The poet says us that even in the midst of challenges and difficulties, we need to make sure that our inner peace and calm does not disappear. In simple terms, the poet is reminding us to take care of our inner peace and calm, especially especially during hard times so that it does not fade away.